Good morning, Kalimera, Kalispera, whatever time you are watching. This is Mappa. I'm Stel. This is, I got it right. This is Thassos. Good evening.
Hey, how we doing? How we doing?
You just did your Fonz impression. I'm impressed.
Oh yeah, it's not just for the gifts. I do it properly as well.
See,
Yeah.
people don't remember happy days. Well, as an Omoni fan, we don't know any happy days.
He does not do this on purpose, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I don't. It's just one of those things that it wasn't something that we planned. You did the whole Fonz early thing, and I went, "Oh, happy days! Oh shit, we ain't having any happy days." Anyway,
Anyway,
oh, start as you mean
uh,
to go on. Start as you mean to go on.
exactly.
So,
No,
how's your week been?
it's
Busy?
been busy, hasn't it? Been a bit crazy. Been uh been busy. Oof.
Gotta love
Yeah.
a deadline day, mate. Gotta love a
Oh
deadline day.
yeah, the quote, but look, I smashed my phone up. So much
No.
times hitting so many times hitting the retweet button. No, it was before. It's just
All right. I was about to say it doesn't even happen to Fabrizio Romano. What's happening to you? Here we go.
oh
Oh
dear.
Jesus! All
Yeah,
systems go. All systems go.
yeah.
Anyway, our viewers aren't here to listen to our nonsense. Let's start with the first game. Karmiotissa with a 2-0 victory over the Agridas, and what a strike there! Debut goal
Yeah,
from
Lukili.
Lukili from
Yeah.
Debrecen. And what I love about that celebration is that he thought that the fourth official was his coach, and then he remembered, oh shit, that's not him. Let's go to my coach. Ella Lucci made it 2-0. Pretty straight and narrow for Karmiotissa. What a strike for your debut, son. Jesus.
It's not bad way to start your career in Gibro, is it? Top bin.
Yep.
Not much joy for you at the moment still, but I remember last week you were talking about goals in the top bin that make the net ripple, so
Yeah, that did it for
probably
me.
helped a little bit there, didn't it? That,
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah,
that's an, that's up for only fans of the year, mate. That one. If you get the Pushkas award, that's only fans goal of the year.
but so the commentator wasn't used to obviously Lukili be like a new signing. The commentator thought it was Juris who scored as well.
Oh, mate.
But yeah, but anyway, yeah, don't take away anything from the fella. Brilliant goal.
Yep.
Now we've come up to this penalty check here. So would you call that a penalty if you were
No,
watching it there?
no, I wouldn't. And that
Uh,
that isn't the only strange penalty or non-penalty call for this weekend, but we're going to go into one later. But yeah, that's not a pen for me.
yeah, I mean fairly straightforward forward finish there from the spot. But yeah, it was a strange one because it looks like his arm's there because his arm's going with the striker. So just
Yeah,
because he's had his arm on the striker, it just follows him down and then just hits him because it's there. So
yeah,
anywhere else, I think in any other league, you'd probably see that kind of looked at and then they'd go, no, all right, carry on.
yeah.
But yeah,
It's that
um,
wrong place at the wrong time.
yeah, yeah. But
Oh,
that's now
blimey.
the second time that Agridas have been done in by a
Yes.
decision like that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Krapovic won't be too happy, as you can tell.
yeah. I mean, he wouldn't
Um,
be very happy with the performance of the team as well. They're not been,
or the finishing either, bloody hell. I mean, when
yeah,
you're one-on-one with a goalkeeper like that, okay, you can say that the goalkeeper, narrowed the angle and it was a
made himself
difficult
big.
finish, but
Yeah,
yeah, all those cliches. But you'd have expected the striker to at least do better than that.
yeah,
But in terms of a game overall, it was quite an entertaining game. In all
yeah,
fairness,
yeah. No, it was because, I mean, I think Gatos likes to have his teams play with some power, kind of
yep,
get forward quickly, get get forward quickly, try and get shots away. And Agridas has just got like the team is very useful, so they've got a lot of energy, a lot of endeavor, a lot of enterprise. So they were able to put on a bit of a spectacle, for all 12 people that were there. So that was good. Yeah. Yeah.
Koulibaly not having the greatest games for Karmiotissa. There was that opportunity that he missed. There's something that happened at the end, which we're going to discuss.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting for. But in the meantime, I just mention again, Knobloch has got another Knobloch from him. Another clean sheet for him. But yeah, I think this is the chance here, isn't it? Where there's a lot of hard work by a player, and then Glidon Bendreo tries to save the shot, kind of scuffs the save a little bit, and then the ball looks like it's about to roll in, and then Koulibaly just goes in there and smashes it in, like right on the line.
Andy calls it.
Yeah. But
now, I'm not going to lie to you, mate, but the moment I saw this, the first thing that came to mind, have you seen that video of the cyclist where he clips the back of his tire and he hits the guy that's fixing the tire of his car? Yeah. Why are you coming fast? Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
The bit where the kid initially clatters into the guy and he goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" That's exactly what I thought when I saw Koulibaly do that, because the ball is going in. There isn't an Agrida player within 10 yards of that ball bouncing. It's going to go in. And Koulibaly just goes, "Okay, I'm going to get my goal bonus here." No, you're offside.
Absolutely. So I'm guessing Sofroni would have been up. Like he would have lost his shit at that.
3 weeks on the bounce, he'll be having kittens. See?
Yeah.
Third week in a row, mate. Third week in a row.
Yeah. Yep. But like, I don't know what he's done with this team, but I was just going to say that last highlight there was on the 73rd minute. So those last 17 minutes must have been like fantastic game, those last 17 minutes.
Watching paint dry, I think is the correct term.
But yeah, Avosti seems to have got something out of his team. The managers before him haven't. Obviously, he's lucky he's come into the team as well and managed to get a very good performance from him. But the players that were there seem to have kind of kicked it up a notch. Yeah. When you've got 45-year-olds kicking it up a notch, you've got to be thinking, well, what the hell has Sofroni done to them?
Well, it looks like, as you said, he's lowered the average wage, but players like Hubachan, I don't even think Hubachan was playing.
No, Hubachan's been injured.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could be like what Joel Mal was saying about him when we had him on the podcast, is that he's very passionate about what he wants the team to do. So and I think at one point you called Sofron, you called him a horcato. But I think the kind of the it kind of brings something out of players. Maybe I don't know that
maybe
especially with people not from Gibro.
Yeah,
they might like that kind of thing.
Could be the aggression. They're into that kind of thing,
Yeah. So I think
maybe it's like with the Russian ultras where they turn up in like MMA gloves to fight. Maybe that's what he tells them to do before training, to turn up in MMA gloves, and they just beat the shit out of each other before every training session. Instead of doing rondos, they do octagon fighting like UFC. Channel your inner aggression.
I'll tell you what. Looking at Koulibaly, he probably wins a few, doesn't he?
Well, he's quite a little bit on the short side, so maybe like his ground attacks are really good. So Anyway, I'm not sure what to say about Agrida.
I don't have much to say about Agrida
No.
for the game, except obviously my weekly little segment with the
Come on.
Karmiotissa clock. Still no appearances,
No.
and this time not on the bench either.
Oh no.
So yeah.
Do we need
I
to
don't know.
get in touch with Karalambidis Gristis and see if they can stick his face on the side of the milk carton?
Cons.
Gala chocolata, and your Onodi's face on the side.
Yeah.
God almighty.
Right. So, after talking about every game, because we had the transfer window shut, I've got everybody's transfer business written down. The good thing about it is that there's a barrier as to how many signings they can make, so it's not going to take that long, especially for Agrida. So first one, Marcelo Torres is on loan from guess where?
To who?
Marcelo Torres is on loan from.
Yeah, to which club?
Oh, so this is Agrida. Sorry, we're starting with
Agrida. Oh, I'm guessing it's another club in the same city. Is it? Is it Buffalo?
It is. It's Buffalo.
Get
Marcelo
out of
Torres
here!
is on loan from Buffos. So he's an
I never thought
Argentinian
that.
striker, and he's already played for Agrida. He played for him last season on loan. For this, it signed around the same sort of time last season. Last season, he scored 7 goals with them in 12 games, so kind of helped him get promoted in the first place.
I never imagined a Buffalo player ever going to Agrida. I never thought that was possible.
Right?
I mean, that's a massive. The negotiating must have taken ages. I mean, they only had a month to do it.
I know, right? Yeah, but they got it done.
To them.
Yeah. See, your face is so serious. I was like, wait, is he being serious?
I'm waiting for my Oscar.
Oh, yes, it's in the post. But so yeah, he was at Riga. Obviously, their season finishes during the winter because of their winters up there. And at Riga, he had 19 goals in 32 games.
Nice.
So he scores goals. So, and that's kind of where Agrida needs somebody. They need somebody to finish because, I mean, we saw some of the finishing that was happening in that game. I'm spending too long on this guy anyway. Right. They also signed Matheus Clemente, who's a Portuguese central midfielder brought in from Chernomore. Help me out. Chernomore are in Bulgaria. Yeah.
I thought you said Chernobyl for a start.
No. Well,
does he glow in the dark when you play?
and then we've already seen Vasco Lopez a few times in the team. So he's a Cape Verdean right winger, and he was from the second division in Portugal. And then Medjimorek is a Croatian central defender that was released by Karmiotissa at the beginning of the month.
Oh,
yeah. So I think he played as well. So played against the club.
His former club.
Yeah. Karmiotissa. I called Karmiotissa's January business my man. Like Denzel, because they signed on deadline day. They signed Denzel Gravenberch.
Oh,
yeah, my man. Yeah, Dutch centre forward, started his career as a centre back.
Okay.
He's played for Cluj and Reading, and they signed him from the Graafschap.
Okay.
We talked about Lukili and how and his whole thing with the scarf and the mucky boards, the Tirio and all that.
Well, do you know? Funny, you mentioned him again. A friend of mine, David Groff, who recently joined Levadia Goz in Greece from Debrecen, he messaged me. What day is today? Wednesday. Yeah, he messaged me Monday. He goes, "Oh, bro, my friend has just joined Karmiotissa and he scored at the weekend." I went, "Lukili?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "He's a really good guy." So there you go.
Really good guy.
Small world. Oh, I didn't mention the
unveiling
though.
Yeah.
Bird shit on the Plexiglass.
They did a better job with Denzel. I'll tell you that now.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
they did a
yes.
really good job with him. They had like a whole thing with Instagram before that saying like a new tower is coming to Limassol.
Nice.
And then they released it, and then they released the pictures of him with.
They made him look like Terry Crews, though. I half expected him to be like, you see the unveiling video? There should have been him in the car, like in White Chicks.
Singing Vanessa Carlton.
And I need you. If I could fall. Sofroni and Denzel. If I could fall into the sky.
No, man.
Do
Sofroni,
you think time? Sorry, continue.
Yeah,
That's just one of those songs. When it's in my head, I can't stop.
The only song Sofroni knows is Bame Stavunadu Jikku, yeah? DJ Haji.
Oh, God.
And anyway, so a couple more things from Karmiotissa side. We've got John Castañaga, who played for Sociedad and AEL in the past, and he joined from this Indian Super League team called Northeast United. And also, Karmiotissa released Zelaya as well. So signed for a team called... Yeah, six months. Yeah, but and I think at one point he was their top goal scorer as well.
Yes,
Pen merchant.
That's correct.
So yeah, but he's gone to a Saudi team. So
okay.
So yeah, there you go. Transfer business. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, let's move over to our next game, shall we? That took place this exact same night. In fact, the exact same time. And Apollon beat Olympiacos by 2-1. Goals from Bitta and a worldie from Spoliaritz. Slogar pulled one back for Olympiacos, but it was too little too late. And Thassos, to be honest, mate, the opening 15 minutes was a barrage of... I would say abuse, but it was just attack after attack after attack for Apollon. You'd have thought that those blue and white striped shirts was like zebras, if zebras were blue and white, that is.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, first half, first half was mostly Apollon.
Yes.
So obviously it was miss a few chances. All you can do is keep plugging away. I feel like Waris is taking training, finishing training for a lot of these teams, man.
One day he's going to see you in the streets, and then you're going to get hurt real bad.
Oh yeah, no, he's going to throw a punch and he's going to end up hitting a wall instead.
Now this guy's probably sitting there watching, going, "I can't catch a break."
Oh man! Oh, yeah, right. Anyway, I'm gonna.
Yes.
I'm gonna lay
to the blue and white zebras.
Blue and white zebras. Yeah, yes. They did. You'd think like they come out in the second half. Olympiacos would probably try and pick up something. But yeah, Apollon basically come out straight away. Bittas scores a nice goal after VAR did a lot of hard work down the wing to get down there. I'm starting to see VAR from last season now. He's still not quite there yet, but he's working hard. He's putting runs in all over the place. He's really nice pass. Nice pass. It's beautiful. Put it on a plate for Bitta. He didn't need to do much with that.
He put it on a plate for Bitta. If you said you could put Bitta on a plate, oh my goodness.
Hold on. I'll make a note.
Rubbish jokes. I'll never forget going to this kebab shop in North London after school, 1997. Bitter with chips, 20p.
Oh, 20p.
Yep, 20p.
Oh,
20p.
yeah.
It was a small portion.
Oh, right. I was going to
Yeah.
say 20p is, and now you probably go to a place like that, ask for something like that, and they'll charge you £5 for it.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Anyway, sorry, we were talking about this
Yeah.
game. Obviously, our
Yeah,
listeners don't care about. Yeah.
So yeah. Well, I mean, they might do. They might. Anyway, again, I go back to the finishing training. I think now that Waris is injured and won't be playing for Protathlima anymore, it's time for me to pick on Hendricks.
Okay.
He's
That's fair
really
enough.
like he had. So there was that chance that he missed there. This header. There's a few chances where we're still 1-0, where it's just the final bit of quality isn't there.
Yeah.
It just wasn't happening for him. But yeah, I don't know.
I found. Yeah, I mean, this is the goal.
Yeah, here we go.
Crikey. When I saw it, I just put my hands on my head and I said, wow. Now, there's something that you said about the pitch, which didn't help Joel with this one.
But I don't think he would have got there anyway.
No?
No, I don't think he would have got there. It's a great finish.
Okay.
Broy out of nowhere as well. You weren't expecting him to shoot from that angle either.
No.
It was a really, really good goal. But there's a screenshot that I took of them showing the goal at one point. You can kind of see the state of the pitch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
Yeah.
You know, when you got a pitch that's been there for what, a month, 2 months, and it's cutting up like that, nah, it's a recipe for disaster, and it could lead to a lot of injuries as well. It's very dangerous.
Yeah. I'm surprised. You know, that Mal didn't kick off about it. If I was me, I would have gone off on one.
Yeah.
Because
it's a good finish from Slogger, by the way. Good finish.
Yeah, very good finish.
Yeah, Jovanovic's area isn't all cut up though. I mean,
yeah.
Do you think that's a sign that Apollon and any team that plays from left to right is more offensive?
Depends what you mean by offensive.
Well, okay, well, yes, okay. Attack minded.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean it in the way that you implied, but
no, but it's I don't know. It's a weird one. The only thing I can think of, right, is it's rained a lot recently in Gibro, and maybe there's you'd think that there's maybe like a slight incline on the pitch, just to drain the water away.
Yep.
And that the bottom of the pitch is the bottom of the grading is down here. So when it rains, the water kind of sits there, which means that once it dries up, it cuts it all up and makes the surface very uneven.
What do you make of this no penalty call? I think it's a good decision from the referee and good decision from VAR. I know he originally gave the penalty, but VAR did its job, and Dingini's left foot or toes were offside.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you need VAR there for, not for those handball decisions. That's not a handball.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
So that's VAR doing its job there. So that's really good. But yeah, Apollon, kind of they're in that region of those 3 or 4 teams that are kind of still trying to make those last 2 places in the top 6.
Yep.
And they're doing it a bit quietly as well. There's not been disasters. There's not been like big results that, would shock people into thinking like, oh, Apollon are back or anything. So and I think that's the best thing for them. They're going through things quietly, just getting on with stuff. No drama, no nothing.
Do you know what though? At half time, I think did he make 2 or 3 changes? I can't remember if he made 2 or 3 changes at half time because VAR was on the bench. It was Houston that was on the right hand side, and he was having an all right game. But what I noticed about Houston is that he was always bringing the ball onto his left foot. He'll be running down the right hand side and always cutting in, and either trying to whip it or shoot. And it kind of limits your creativity when you've got that kind of inverted winger that doesn't have more to their game. Whereas VAR was very direct, as you saw with the first goal. He just ran past the centre back, brought the ball down, laid it off. The simple, the basics.
Yeah,
that's all he was doing. So clearly, that substitution made a massive impact. In fact, that he only made one substitution at half time. Apologies, and that was the one, and that effectively changed the game. So. What about their transfer activity then? What about both clubs?
Well, right. So the Apollon title I've got here: God's Will to All Men, Wild Vision Season 2, and Squidward.
Oh,
so
okay.
So yeah, I'll go through it. There's an image in the notes if you want to bring it up afterwards as well. But once we get to him, but
Yes.
Yeah, we've got Godsway Donyo as a Ghanaian centre forward that went from the Right to Dream Academy to the Man City youth teams, then Norway, Maccabi Haifa, and then Neftchi Baku. And apparently, so this is off Transfermarkt. Apollon paid 250k for him.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. Then obviously we've got Warta Vision.
So standard.
Transfermarkt says someone got paid 120 grand for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know who got paid 120 grand for it. But apparently someone did.
Maybe Anofsky got paid 120 grand for
it. That's what's been reported on Transfermarkt anyway.
Anofsky got paid 120 grand for it. That's his buyout. pay for your own contract, mate. Fuck off. Yeah. Pay us 120 grand.
Well, yeah, there you go. And then Edzas Hussein, Norwegian central midfielder, was in the Manu youth teams, Molde and Sivasspor.
Yes.
And then we've got Godswill Ekbolo, who's a Nigerian right back. He started in La Masa in the Barcelona youth teams, went to Fleetwood Town, and then played in Sweden for a couple of seasons. And man got dressed up to sign his contract. Check out the drip.
There you go.
Check out the drip. There he is.
Let me see if I can zoom in. Man's got
There
Squidward.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Fantastic stuff. Who lives in a pineapple? Fantastic. And then obviously Apollon have been very busy. We talked about some of these already, so it's just going to be like blah, 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 blah. On Gedan Cabral released beginning of December due to disciplinary issues.
Yes.
Recio released for family reasons. Inja released and is back in Georgia. It didn't work out. Malekidis has gone on loan to Nea Salamina, and then Binagas's loan finished.
Back to Olympiacos.
He's gone back to the Olympiacos B team to be managed by Okaz.
Okaz, yeah. Yannis Okaz.
Yeah, there you go. Just a bit of. You can't get away from the Cypriots, Binagas. So anyway, Olympiacos. 4 is more than 6, right?
Yes.
So
clearly.
So first of all, let's start. They released 7 players, including their top goal scorer, Guerrier.
Yes.
So Guerrier posted something on Instagram about his time at Olympiacos, and he tagged a location on it for Ataturk Airport.
Oh, right.
But he was going to Azerbaijan. I was wondering, what but
what the fuck are you doing?
Weird journey, unless he crossed something he maybe shouldn't have crossed.
Possibly. I'm not going to speculate anything.
Anyway, politics is not this podcast.
No.
Now, 6 players were brought in at Olympiacos instead of the 4 that's supposed to be the kind of
Permitted. Yes.
maximum. So we've got 2 Greek strikers on loan, so Dumishai Yagomagis, Brian Alceus on loan from FC Alges in Romania, Swedish international midfielder Abdul Khalili, and 2 unattached players who got relegated last season. So from Gerinia, Luis Eno, and from Ethnikos, Tony Gorupek.
Okay.
Don't know these guys from Adam, but they also signed.
I think Eno scored for Bayek against Anorthosis last season when they beat. I think they beat them. Was it 4-2? I can't remember. I think they beat Anorthosis away from home, and I think Eno scored. Was it 2-1? I can't remember. I remember him.
He is listed as a striker, so that makes sense. Yeah, they've been a bit unlucky with the strikers, so they have to deal with Hendricks. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah, but they're because I know Dormishai is injured, so he played that one game, came off the bench, scored, and then got injured. And I think Yagomagis isn't quite fit yet, so he hasn't. I don't think he played. He hasn't played yet. I don't think.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
that makes sense.
There you go. They signed 6 players, so I think the reason they were able to sign those 2 players is basically from our discussion from before we started recording, is that they've been unattached for more than 6 months. Which means that they were able to be signed. So I didn't know that was a thing until you mentioned it beforehand, which makes a bit more sense as to why Olympiacos were able to sign 6 players.
The thing is, I still am a little bit unsure as to how they were allowed to sign 6 instead of 4. It still doesn't compute in my head. You know, you've given the possible explanation, but it still doesn't make sense in my head. Like special dispensation. I don't. Anyway, doesn't matter. They're going to get relegated anyway. I'm sorry. Maybe just no.
We've got games yet.
Let's move. Yes, they do, but I don't give them a snowball's chance in hell. But anyway, AEK won the top of the table clash, a 2-1 victory over Apoel, and an early goal from Garcia. Faraj making it 2, Marquinhos pulling one back with 2 minutes to go. Mate, I messaged you after 3 minutes of this game. I was like, wow, what the fuck is going on? You're like, I'm not watching.
Yeah, we because the kid he's 19 months old. He's a bit hard to watch games at the weekend. You know, they should have the games during the week. That way I can watch them while I'm working. Anyway, so Abuel did me in with this because I went on somebody else's podcast and talked about how this game was going to go and talked about how good the Abuel's defense is and how they'd sit back and let AEK play the game and catch them out. I was so confident. I was so confident about how the game was going to turn out. I actually broke down how the goals were going to go in as well. I was going to say, I said to him, Abuel, we're going to score first. Then AEK will play the overload like they do, get an equalizer, and Abuel would score really late. Score a second one really late into the game as AEK start to chase the win. First bloody goal goes in like the second minute, and the shambles in defense, absolute shambles. Like all the players kind of just let the second ball kind of just float around and do all that business. And at the ball watching, as Crespo and Diwali looked absolutely shell shocked. You know, Crespo and his fucking Donald Trump Jr. looking face. Anyway. I got really annoyed with this because they showed me up. But at least I got the score right. I just got it the wrong way around.
Just go the wrong way around, yeah. Well, look, to be fair, Abor did improve as the game grew, but Aek looked very, very threatening, as you see right here.
Yeah.
Faraj had a shot which went just over. And in all fairness, the second half was more of the same. It was Upwell, cranking out the pressure. There's a shot there from Lopez, which went just over, which is a great strike. But Upwell kind of like stepped up a gear second half. It was a different kind of Upwell that I'm used to seeing, because they were literally in third and fourth gear, but they just couldn't break down Aek. But then obviously Faraj got the second goal, and I think that was effectively it as a contest, in all fairness.
Yeah. Well, there's a few highlights here. You see Ben has been absolutely pivotal to kind of the intelligence and the kind of the way he just lays out the passes. So they hear that this chance for Efrem there is a really good pass. It's a great shot from Efrem, and it just cannons off the bar. There's a couple of other chances as well that happen.
I just love how he hits the keeper in the back of the head, and the ball goes flying. There's more power from the back of the head of the goalkeeper than the shot.
Yeah, it's I guess just a bad day at the office for Abuel, wasn't it? It's bad time to have the bad day at the office, obviously. But yeah, what are you going to do? But yeah, Kvidaya, I think he's going to get dropped. He's going to get dropped because the sooner Makeda is up and running, I think Kvidaya is coming out of that team, because there's some of the chances that he messed up are criminal. Again, another great goal from Faraj. He doesn't know how to score. He only scores bangers.
That's right. And guess what? He started the move on the right-hand side, sprayed into the left-hand side, made his run. No one tracked him. And this is the other thing that confuses me. I mean, Upwell have been so good defensively this season, but 2 goals, 2 basic errors. You mentioned the first one being the ball watching. Same with this one. Exactly the same sort of situation. Track the runner. Don't keep looking at the ball. Don't keep looking at the ball. Look, he sprayed it out wide.
Look at that defensive line.
And look at where he is now. He's got 5 or 7 yards ahead of the fullback. Yeah. Ferrari was like, oh shit. And it was at this point where he knew he fucked up.
It's they kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm just trying to think why they would kind of the performance levels of that defense drop, because it's not like they made big changes to that defense. It's the back four that they've been basically playing all season, except for Diwali maybe with Wheeler kind of swapping in and out, and Garo. But yeah, so I don't understand where the performance came from. Of course, Marquinhos then came on for Abuel and kind of brought another dimension to the team. So there was that free kick, for instance, that we saw earlier on. And
what did you make of Makeda? Because I think he looked very sharp. There was a couple of moments where he dropped the shoulder and beat a couple of defenders, and we're about to see. Well, we're going to see the equaliser very, very soon, where he started the move, and Ndongala kind of ran onto it. I don't know what the defender was doing, running out towards him, but he looked pretty decent, didn't he, Makeda?
Yeah. He looked very sharp. Well, it looks like he wants to drive on and get on with his job.
Yep.
And I'm all for it. If I think exactly. I think Vidaya needs a break, because there's lots of missed chances from him on his end, put Makeda up there instead.
The thing is, the head coach, he's very astute, right? And if he drops Gvilidaya now, what message does that send to him? Does that knock his confidence somewhat?
Well,
I mean, obviously he didn't have a great game, but he's the captain, isn't he? Well, when Efrem isn't playing anyway.
Yeah, Efrem is the captain, but when he's not playing, they put Vidaya there. But
Yeah,
I mean, there you go.
he needs to score there, right?
96 minute. The headline's written there for him to score that goal.
In all fairness, I don't think the ball dropped quick enough.
No, it didn't. But he went to ground very quickly for it.
Okay.
If he stayed on his feet, if he stayed upright, he would have had better contact on it.
Okay.
I'll
give you that.
He works very hard. He works very hard. Presses the defense, gets mistakes out of them. Very good at give and go. Very good at. But for some reason, it's just the finishing isn't there this year. I mean, he's now on he's played 18 games now. He's on 2 goals.
League goals, yeah.
And one of them was a penalty. So.
Yeah, I know, but what he does off the ball, I think he does contribute a lot. And look, you know how it works, right? If you're a striker, especially in Cyprus, and you got a reputation of hitting the back of the net, when you don't do it regularly or consistently, they start shitting on players. And I haven't seen any Upper World fans lambast him. So I guess he's doing something right to keep them happy. That being said, with Makeda there, it gives them another option.
Yeah.
They went 4-4-2 second half with Ndongala and Marquinhos on the wings. And as Milovic said at full time, Ndongala is the only player in their squad that can switch gears like that. He is absolutely rapid. And when you've got someone like Makeda that can finish, because he can finish, it could be a bit sticky for everyone, man. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Yep. No, exactly. But it is what it is for Apoel. That's kind of what they've been missing all season so far. Marquinhos is their top goal scorer. It's not necessarily the best when your winger is your top goal scorer, especially when you've got somebody with the quality of Kvidaya, who could score the goals.
Yeah.
Not hitting those scoring charts at all.
Let me ask you about this result in terms of what it means to both sides, because while obviously for the psychological side of things for Ajax winning the game, they beat their closest title rivals. It's only really 4 points at the top.
Yep.
So at this stage of the season, with how many games to go? 9?
It's
8?
not. Hold on. We're on 21, right? So there's 5 left before the split, and then there's 10 after that.
Right. So there's 15 games left.
Yeah.
Is it a massive blow to Apoel in the grand scheme of things?
I mean, this is where the manager makes his money, is to get those players out of whatever funk they're going to be in after losing that game. Kind of reminding them that there's still 45 points to play for.
Yeah.
So while it's a blip, forget about it, move on to the next game, and continue as you were beforehand.
Yeah. Well, look, as I said, it's 4-point difference. Ajax obviously in good form, but you've got the European campaign restarting very, very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the reason they have strengthened their squad. Do you want to let our viewers or listeners know which players Ajax have brought in?
Yeah, so we'll go with Yakolis first, because he's the one that set Farage up for the winner for the 2-0. So he's a left winger that they've signed on loan from Angers in France. They've also signed Gromov, who's a Ukrainian centre forward from Dnipro. So aren't they playing Dnipro? So
They are indeed, yes.
no, interesting one. A very
Again, because
interesting
they
one.
played them at the beginning of the season as well in the qualifiers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and but the big one that they did is they signed Nemanja Nikolic, who's a 35-year-old Hungarian centre forward. He's been top goal scorer 3 times in the Hungarian league, but he's also done that in the extra class in Poland and in the MLS as well.
Okay.
So
Okay.
he's done. So he's been top goal scorer in a league. That's 5 times. So he's got very good scoring record. He's got 292 goals in 533 games.
Not bad.
He's
Not
30.
bad.
He's got 8 goals in 42 games for Hungary as well. Now the only thing that kind of might mean that he's not going to play as much as say other players is that he's 35. But then again, you look at somebody like Triskovsky, who's like 80, and he's
Yeah.
their
He's
captain.
disappeared off the map. He's
I
disappeared
think
off
he
the
got
map.
injured.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously his scoring record this season before getting injured wasn't great.
Mm.
But he got injured. I don't know if he's still injured, but
Okay.
that's why he's kind of not been appearing for him. But yeah, looking at that goal scoring record, and he's done that at every club he's been at, every single one, like a record of he's basically got a goal every game, every 2 games. It's time to shit yourselves, every other team. Like, there's going to be goals,
Yep. Yeah.
more goals because I've already got goals.
Yep. Yep.
You know, if you got somebody like Farage and Altman and Gursko, I think Gursko's injured now, but if you've got players like that delivering balls to this guy, you'd expect goals flying in left, right, and centre.
Yep.
And that's scary.
He'll be good to play against like your Doxas and all these other teams where perhaps you can give Lopez a break,
Mm-hmm.
So
But yeah, I mean, a lot of the teams like Voxa as well, they're going to come up against Ajax very, very defensively. So they're going to try and park the bus. You need somebody to kind of lift that bus out of the way, chuck it, and clear it, to be able to score. And looking at the guy's record, it looks like he's the guy to do it.
So and what are the players left? Is that it for them?
So yeah, it's just those three. So it's Grobov, Jakolic, and Nikolic. Now on the outs, Ola Tunji's gone on loan to Slovan Liberec in Slovenia.
Isn't that where Hendy came from?
Is it?
Isn't that where he came from?
I don't know, but he's gone on loan there, and he scored on his debut.
Okay.
So
Good for him.
he's gone there. Asante got sent back to Loxa.
Yeah.
Because he was on loan from Loxa. And Romo has gone to AL.
Yeah.
That's a weird signing for both those teams.
Yep. Yeah.
Like AL releasing, I'm guessing AL released Romo because they were like, well, we're bringing Nikolic in, so Romo's probably not going to get.
Yeah.
He's going to get even less game time. Whereas AL, I've got like 36 strikers. Get another one in. But anyway.
Well, I was quite surprised to see Romo go, in all fairness, because I thought, he came off the bench against Aboel the other day, and he did all right. And he's a handful, given his height, and he's got a pretty decent goal scoring record. So to see him leave Ajax and go to AL, bit of a strange one for me, but hey, money talks.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, if you believe rumors as well, there's some magic stuff happening at AL. soon.
Yes.
So maybe
Magic.
he's been convinced because he's been told something that we only hear through whispers.
Well, exactly. I mean, we've heard of magic dust. It might be magic sand.
There you go.
Or magic oil.
Yep. Okay, I let that linger there long enough, right?
Yeah.
Abuel January business. I've called it Manchester.
Oh, very good. Very good.
There you
Very,
go.
very good. I'm impressed.
Because we talked about Makeda and how well he kind of performed coming on to the field as a sub, and he's got a good scoring record in Panathinaikos. Ankara Guk. How do you pronounce this? Ankara Guku, I think. The Turkish team he's come from.
Yes.
There was a lot of fans of the team commenting on the announcement, saying like, "Oh, he's the best goal scorer in the world. Oh, what a great guy! Fantastic! Oh, you guys have got. Oh, thank God it's only on loan and he'll be coming back and all this stuff." And you look at his scoring record for him this season, and it looks like Philly Dyer's well this season. So, and you got, I mean, he's obviously got classic goals for Manchester United. Bastard with the against Villa as well. Like but yeah, he's got 87 goals in 343 games. So it's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I think that's one in 4.5, something like that. 1 in 4.
Yeah, the problem is you need to take into consideration he played for like QPR and Cardiff
Forest and Birmingham City.
Yeah, he did the rounds. So then he went to Greece and he got like 40 and 116 or something, which weren't too bad in all fairness.
Yeah. Well, but again, Panathinaikos, he was there for a while, so it was somewhere where he could settle down. This is a loan deal. So maybe
hit miss or maybe.
I would love it if you prove me wrong. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on from that. We talked about Ben already. Comoros right winger from Red Star Belgrade. Played for Olympiacos and Le Havre previously as well. Le Havre is like a 3-hour drive from here. So
okay.
I'm
impressed with your pronunciation.
French people don't at me. It's north of here. It's north of here. Fine. Now, Abuel's business as well has been more on the letting some people go side. So, Blum and Maglica were released. So, Blum's gone to Nuremberg.
Okay.
And Maglica's gone to Cluj in Romania.
Okay, that's where Bentancur was before. The Buffalo.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Yeah. But neither of those players seem to have done anything for those teams yet.
No.
Carlos Diaz has joined Fujairah SC in the Emirates on loan. And then Boligapo and Moreira have gone to Baralimni.
Right, okay. Loans, I assume?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, but Baralimni, loans.
Well, I'm just asking,
Yeah.
Not that I'd think that, Baralimni's head coach would have any association with Apoel at all. No, of course he's got no association with them at all. So anyway, what's the next one? Shall we go with Doxa against Anorthosis?
Yeah, we can do.
Because I don't really know what to say about this one. I watched most of it, and
why?
This is my I know this was my cure for insomnia. I don't know what to say really. Two teams devoid of confidence. One team is kind of on the rise or trying to be on the rise. Another one is just struggling to keep their head above water. Nothing really much happening in this one, in all fairness, mate.
No. The one thing is because the stadium doesn't have stands on the goal ends, when the ball goes out, it makes a satisfying thud on the hoardings. So you like hear the boom, and you're like, ooh, it's like ASMR. Lovely stuff. Yeah. I mean, again, Unorthodox players seem to be taking finishing lessons from Waris. Don't do that. He's not even playing and I'm digging into him. I've got to stop. But yeah.
Leave me alone!
At one point, I think it's in the 59th minute, the commentator thought Benny scored. But it's basically just he hit the ball
for
really
crying
hard.
out loud. Yes.
Yeah. And then Loria pulls off a great save in the 70th minute from Siddiq. It's a great point for Loxa. Disappointed for Unorthodox again. Not a lot else.
Do you know what? I don't even know how long these highlights actually are, because it's just nothing. It's just nothing.
Yeah. There really was nothing.
I just don't know what to say about this game. I don't know what to say about this game. It's not one of those 0-0 draws where you could say it was full of incident or there was some half chances. It was just for crying out loud. It felt like, you know, when you're watching a stream and it just loops. That's just how it seemed.
Yeah.
The same sequence over and over again.
Yeah, pretty much. The only thing I noted, kind of, what else was happening was Sobchik is back in this Doxa team. Like, he came on, he hits the bar in the 95th minute. I don't understand why they don't play him. Like, is it a fitness thing? I don't know. It's like he comes on and Doxa go up 2 or 3 gears. So I don't know why. He's not being played from the beginning of games.
Well,
but anyway, there you go. That's when the commentator thought Benny had scored. So we don't talk about too much about this.
Do you know what it is, right? They've had so many coaches. They've had so many coaches. They don't know which players to play. So this subject that keeps coming off the bench, perhaps like none of the coaches know who he actually is. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, while we're at it, so let's run through the January business so we don't talk about this game too much.
Yeah.
Looks at January business: 3 managers and 3 players. So they've had Sebastian Herrero is a Macedonian Colombian left back. Nikola Trujic, who's a Serbian left winger who's been at Partizan, Debrecen, and Larissa. And then Johanio Hala, who's the Finnish central defender, who's played for Young Boys, Grozny, and Motherwell, has 31 international caps. And as per his performance on matchday 20, can't defend to save his life. You remember? You guys were having a massive go.
Yes. When Zara made him, oh goodness gracious, terrible. Unbelievable, Jeff.
So before I go to the Unorthodox stuff, there's a chance here. It's on the 95th minute. A sub-check has where Loria saves it, and then it comes off the bar. So it'll come up in a second, and then we'll go through the Unorthodox stuff. But yeah, here you go. It's a good chance. There you go. And their sub-check gives it a good whack. It's a good save from Loria, a good reflex save, and then it bounces off the bar.
Siddiq has to score there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Has to score.
Yeah. He's another one who's suffering a lot despite the very, 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 very good record of scoring in the Cyprus League. It's just not happening for him this season.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Unorthodox business. All right. So
This
we've
is where
got
it gets interesting.
so we've got Antonin, Spanish striker on loan from Granada in the Segunda. 22
Yep.
years old, has already played for Malaga, Real Vallecano, and Victoria Guimaraes.
Yep.
He's already scored a goal for him as well.
Yes.
So we've got. I didn't write his first name
Mraz.
down. I almost
Mraz?
called him Jason Mraz.
Oh, Jason Mraz.
It's not Jason Mraz. Jason Mraz is the
No.
singer.
Yes, that's correct.
So Mraz is a Slovakian striker on loan from Spezia. He's played for Empoli, Brøndby, Slovan Bratislava. He's got 4 caps for Slovakia. He's 57 goals in 241 games. It's not. Again, is anyway.
Yeah.
He's on loan, so there's not that much of an issue there. I think they can send him back if it doesn't turn out all right for him. We've got
Well, he missed a chance, didn't he, the other day against Doxa? It was a great challenge from the defender, which you didn't mention, but to be honest, we completely skipped our minds because it was such a boring bloody game.
yeah, exactly. So we've got Guerrero as well, who's come in. He's a Spanish striker signed from Offi Ingridi. He's been at Olympiacos, the good one, and
Has he been at
Forest.
Nottingham Forest? Oh, he's been at Nottingham Forest as well. Huh? Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, right. He's got 74 goals in 353 games.
Okay.
Again,
That's not too bad. Not
yeah,
great, but not too bad.
yeah. And then you've got Tejera, who's a Spanish central midfielder from Cartagena, a team in the Segunda. He's a Chelsea youth product. He's played for Mallorca, Gimnastic Oviedo, and Espanyol.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, those are the 4 signings that they've made. 3 of them are strikers. So the title for Anorthosis is "What is he still doing here?"
Oh, brilliant.
T-shirt idea, don't nick it.
Brilliant.
Right. Anyway, so there's also an outgoing at Anorthosis,
Right.
and that is. Sorry?
Is it the guy that we already mentioned or you already mentioned?
Well, that he's gone out.
Vada.
No. Oh well, there's Varda. Yeah, I didn't write Varda down because obviously we talk a lot about Varda already, and
He's been
like
behaving himself.
the
Got no more content.
big old list of things that have gone on for Varda.
Yeah.
So instead, we've got Lazaros, really super long surname.
Christodoulos, yes.
Christodoulos, yeah. So he finally got released today from Anorthosis, even though they announced about 3 months ago that they were releasing him.
Yes.
So there's been about 3 months of wrangling, bitching, complaining from both sides. Rumors abound of him not being paid by Anorthosis. There's also rumors of him being an unsettling influence on the training ground. A lot of twos and fro's, a lot of blah 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 blah. One less act in the circus.
Rest, yes. Yes.
But the way that Anorthosis kind of announced that they finally came to an agreement about releasing Lazaro from his contract, kind of the last sentence says something along the lines of, "The door is always open at Anorthosis." And I'm like, if the door is open for him, get some locks.
Wow, that's savage. That's savage.
But,
what's wrong with you?
If it's taken 3 months to go through the process of releasing a player from his contract, even though you told him 3 months ago, and he announced 3 months ago that Anorthosis want to get rid of me, and I really like the fans. I hope I gave you good memories, and all the rigmarole and stuff like that. And then there was all the stuff in the background about Anorthosis looks like they're going to re-sign him, and I mean, what do you want
Well,
me to
look,
say? It's
it took 3 months for him to leave, yeah? 3
yeah.
months. Well, it brings a whole new meaning to the term Greek goodbye.
It's just stood at the door and then takes a step back into the house every
Yeah,
every couple of weeks back in.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And then they walk into the garden, they're talking about the fig tree, and then they go, "Oh, let's have Mariasis." You know, this is how we get. That's how it is. That's how it is. So
Oh,
yeah.
oh, oh dear. But yeah, there you go.
We explained it. We explained it.
There you go.
There we go. Right, next game. Okay, I'm just checking my list. Let's go for that meaty top of the table clash. Can't score, won't score. Omonia nil, Buffo nil. I was very nervous with this one, and Buffo could have taken the lead early on. They could have taken the lead later on, and they could have won it later on. But a draw is a draw, a point is a point. But there was only one major talking point in this game, which I'm sure we're going to discuss in a bit, and it was a handball, which I still, for the life of me, can't believe it wasn't given to us. And that's something that we didn't actually discuss on the podcast because we were so pissed off with the way that the club is being run. Here, that's not it. Sorry, it's the same sort of sequence. Apologies. What did we learn from this game, Thassos?
What did we learn? Hector Eustace showed up and chose violence. He showed up and kind of gave the performance of his life. Like,
yep.
That clearance off the line at the beginning of the game, some of the other stuff that he did during the game. On the other hand, Leszak, like if Omonia needed anything, is a new left back.
Yeah, well,
this
is the handball, by the way. This is the handball, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, if the Karmiotissa handball was a penalty, what is this?
That should also be a penalty.
Right.
However, so today, the Cyprus FA released their review of VAR and the rest of it.
Okay.
And they said that it was correct for that to not be a penalty because the player's arm is in a natural position.
It's in a natural position. Okay.
Yep. Whereas the Agridas penalty was in an unnatural position.
Oh, give over. Sorry, I'm not having that. I'm not having that.
I thought you'd enjoy that.
I'm not having that. Sorry, I'm not having that. But yeah, you're saying Leszak. Yeah, he had a bit of a nightmare. Yeah. Landed there as well. Great save from Fabio though. But
yeah. No, exactly. Let's see what have I got written here. So Ivica Ivasic made his debut for Bafo. Did a really good job. We spoke about Antosh being fine enough, kind of a couple of weeks back. But for them to kick on, they needed a better class goalkeeper, at least until Antosh has got a bit more experience. And I mean, this guy
spent £2 million on the third choice goalkeeper of the Croatian national team, which ain't bad game.
And he commanded his area very well. He did a good job of not letting any shots in. It did the minimum on that side of things. Watching the game, it looks like Bafo really missed Semedo.
Yeah.
Really, they got a. They had a Semedo-shaped hole, and they found a Bruno nail to put through that hole.
Yeah, exactly. That was the big takeaway from the game because a lot of people were talking about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. A lot of people were talking about Bruno and the links to Buffon. Was it going to happen? Wasn't it going to happen? we heard various noises coming from Omonia that there was another offer made, but they're not going to entertain it. Lo and behold, the next day, he's close to joining Buffalo, and that was it. So, yeah, it's done. It's happened. Buffalo get their man, and part of me thinks that while the club are happy with the transfer money they're receiving for the player, the other part of me thinks that they deliberately sold him to Buffalo knowing that it could stop Buffalo from winning the title. That's the pettiness. But hey, anyway.
Well, I mean, Buffalo in third right now. but yeah, maybe, I don't know. The one thing the kind of I was trying to find out, and I was rooting through stuff to try and find a value for Buffalo selling Semedo, how much they did it for. Do you know anything?
It's a bit of a weird one because judging by the reports online from Cypriot Press, they're like, oh, it's a massive deal, the biggest sale in the club's history. I'm thinking, well, Buff have only been around for like 10 years. Like,
Yeah.
What's the biggest transfer they could have, like, I can't think of any names that have left the club. I can't think of any big names or big transfers or big departures.
Yeah,
so
neither can I.
Could it have been $199? Could it be $9.99?
Well, I mean, since we're talking about the transfers, do you want me to go through the? Do you want me to go through it?
Go
business,
through the
business. So we've got Al Gadoui has been released. Semedo got sold to. Yeah, he scored against Agritas. Yeah, whatever. Semedo was sold to Al Faisali in Saudi for an undisclosed amount, but like you said, it's been confirmed as a record sale. Ivica Ivicic, Croatian goalkeeper from Osijek with experience with the Croatian national team, which you also said, €2 million. Jefte Betancourt loan fee from Cluj, because apparently he's on loan, 350 grand.
Training with them since the summer, and then they signed him now, and he's a loan.
350 grand.
Okay.
And Bruno, if reported to be believed, €1.45 million.
No chance. No chance.
So I did some maths. So based off of how much they've spent, it would assume if they want to break even, the Semedo was something like €4 million.
Yeah. That's how much they spent in January,
yeah.
According to the finances that have been. But hey, I guess we're going to find out next year. Or is it the year after when they do the finances?
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll go to the finances as well, because this is something I keep bringing up with Omonia, right? This is something I keep bringing up. I don't think people quite understand what it means when I say it. So I've looked at the kind of the books that they've made available for 2021, the end of 2021, and Omonia, right? They've got £22 million of liabilities, which 16 million of that is loans. But the big thing is they sat on a lot of negative equity. So 14 million euros of negative equity.
For the benefit of our listeners, what is negative equity?
Well, negative equity is so. A lot of the kind of the accounts for these clubs, they kind of like show shareholder investment and that kind of thing as positive equity, which offsets the liabilities. So kind of you end up with a small number for like how much the club as a company need to kind of come
Survive.
to zero.
Mm-hmm.
So Omonia need 35 to 36 million euros just to get to zero. That's what that means. It's insane. Like, if you look at Arnothos's books, they've got positive equity, mostly from shareholders putting money into the club. You know, your Bulaidi and people like that. Whereas on Monia, it's the other way around. And it's whoever's coming into, if anybody wants to come into investing in Omonia, they've got to pay 35 million euros just to get to zero.
Yeah.
So that's not including investment in, say, training ground, a new stadium, players wages.
Buying the club outright.
Yeah. So it's.
So if Mr. President wants 25 million for the club, effectively they're going to need 60 million in total.
Yep. If they want to start from zero, I mean, they could always still have that negative liability, negative equity. Obviously, with a new business person coming in, you can manage it and obviously pay off that negative equity. And I'm not in finance, so it's a bit difficult to kind of explain exactly what it is. It's just that it's a big minus number.
Yes.
Which is scary. And you know,
I'm just
1.45 million euros coming off that number is fine, but you still got another 30 odd million that needs to come off it.
Yeah, and at this point, I need to get up the video of Cisco Munoz saying, "We're in the shit."
Yeah, there you go. Mark it down.
We're in the shit.
What minute? Yeah.
I'm not even going to do it. I just like doing it myself. We're in the shit. Okay? We're in the shit.
So.
What the fuck are you doing?
So.
I just can't get that out of my head now. Oh,
so, should we talk about Omonia's January business? Or as you called them yesterday, Omemia?
I'll leave you with that.
I'll list it. I'll list it, and then you can come in right at the end to.
No. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. You do your thing. You say what you got to say about it. I'm not saying anything because if I do, it's only going to wind me up even more. Sorry.
Okay, fine. So outgoings: Bruno, Matas. Incoming, we've got Tajuri Shradi, who's a Libyan right winger from New England in the MLS. Big injuries, obviously, he's had before. I think he's injured now as well. There you go. And
he trained today. He trained today.
Good. So that means he's only like a month off before playing.
Give or take.
Yeah, and then we've got the deadline day signing, the Artem Besedin, Ukrainian centre forward on loan from Dynamo Kiev. Some Ukrainian football fans have labelled him a tree. I don't know what that means, calling him a tree, but that's fine. But he has confirmed that I am ready. And then he held up a football shirt today in all the photos that they released of we've got a new player. So they've spelt his name with an S everywhere, except on the shirt that he's going to wear, where they put a C. So,
well, I have a possible explanation for this because there was a lad a few days ago sent me a message on Instagram, and he wanted to buy a shirt with Adam Lang's name on it, but they ran out of the G, so they used the C from Lesiak's name, and they cut off some material and moved it around so that it looked like a G. Maybe they've run out of letters, or I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
Not enough people are buying that Lesiak shirt, I guess. Using the C.
If I speak, I'll be in big trouble. Big trouble.
But yeah, there we go. That's it. That's it. The big thing for me on the Omonia side of things is the financials, and obviously those financials don't include the stuff from the Europa League this season. So obviously that's going to reduce the minus numbers a bit more.
Yeah, I think the Europa League money came in November.
Yeah. So it will show up on the end of
one.
2022 accounts wherever they make those available.
Yeah. If they make them available. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this team anymore.
Next one.
I don't want to talk about them, okay? Right,
Yep.
next game. Salamina, Bursaspor. They are on a roll. 2-0 victory over AEL. Goal scored from Dore. What's happened here? Sorry, you just cut out for a second. Doregaray from a handball, score from the spot. And Dalkovic.
Yep.
Pen.
Yep.
Yes, yeah. I don't think we can argue with that.
I mean, what is he thinking? What is that defender thinking?
Maybe he tried to push the forward and completely missed. He tried to push the forward and completely missed it and pushed the ball instead.
I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell that was about. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out what his thought process was. But yeah, sorry, the two Salamina goals actually go in very quickly in this game. So we kind of just talked over them because of that handball. But yeah, Doregaray gets another goal. So he seems to be kind of doing fine now. But I'm pretty
sure... The Walking Dead, as I called him. The Walking Dead.
Well, there you go. See, he he's used that as motivation. There's some other players who should be thinking the same. But anyway,
are you suggesting that I've given him the motivation to score goals, my friend? Because that clearly is not the case. It wasn't intentional. I promise. It was not intentional. Sorry, you were saying. Sorry.
Well, yeah, no, fine. It's but yeah, the penalty. I think if you've got Muriel in goal, I think he saves that.
Yes.
Just because we love Muriel on this podcast.
Absolutely.
The second goal that Salamina scored as well was just a basic standard corner routine. So I think Janevski will be proper pissed at his defence. But he'd be pissed at the whole team, to tell you the truth. Their performance, I mean, they deserved to lose the game. They had a few chances. They did have a few chances, but nothing scary for Salamina. I think they do. I'm missing Chibola, maybe. I don't know. There's just
I think so. But the goalkeeper as well, man. Obviously, missing the goalkeeper as well.
Yeah, but if so, Muriel is on the bench for them right now. So I'm not sure. Yeah, if he's fit enough to be on the bench, he should be fit enough to start, shouldn't he?
Well, you'd think, but maybe he's not. Maybe he's not 100%. Maybe they don't have another goalkeeper to put on the bench. That's the only explanation I can think of.
Oh yeah, I mean, when you've got Muriel, do you really need 3-4 goalkeepers like what all the other teams have?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but yeah.
There you go. Well, I need to say something about this because you mentioned Janevski, and a few weeks ago I said who came first, Sean Dyche or Janevski? And is it a coincidence that Sean Dyche now has a job at Everton and AEL are losing their defensive powers? You think
that's what it is?
I think that's what it is.
Sean Dyche
when Sean Dyche was last in a job, he was at Burnley, and Isle came this close to winning the title and it didn't work. I'm just saying, since Sean Dyche has been out of a job, Isle have been doing well. So maybe it's a curse.
Have they been doing well?
Well,
Defensively, they've been doing well.
since Janevsky got the job, he's taken Dyche's powers, Dyche ball, and wow, they lost their third game in how many now? The clean sheets are done.
Plenty. But yeah, they've. Man, what are you going to do? I put
2 defeats, 2 wins, and a draw in their last 5. Which still not too bad, but it's sometimes good, sometimes shit.
It's not top 6. It's not top 6 form, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah,
and
Salamina. Go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was about to say Salamina are now what, 6 points ahead of him?
Yep. Yeah. Salamina should be scaring both Omonia and Apollon.
Well, when you got the Walking Dead up front.
Yeah, exactly. Defenders get
coming.
That must have been what it was, right? Is the IL defender saw Doregaray and was like, bloody hell no. That's when the handball came in.
Oh, mate.
Yeah.
I just hope that none of their fans or their players are watching this.
I don't mean it. It's just for content. It's just for content. It's just for the Instagram clip. I mean it a little.
Mate. Fucking hell. So come on, transfers.
Yeah, transfers.
Everyone kills us before they will kill
Kalali
us.
HTTPS for Salamina, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They also signed the transfer deadline day Edson Silva, Portuguese attacking midfielder, 21 years old. Basically went through the ranks at Sporting, and Sporting decided that they weren't going to keep him. So Salamina went and snapped him up. And then obviously, I mentioned it in the Apoel one, but Malakidis has joined them on loan. On Isle's side, January business, Romo from AEK again. Cernic, attacking midfielder from Jagiellonia. Javier Mendoza is an Argentinian attacking midfielder from Ionikos. And then
1 minute. The Polish midfielder you just mentioned, he's actually done his medical now.
Oh yeah. Apparently, he's on the bench for them. So I'm guessing from the medical, he's proper.
Because 2 weeks ago he flew over. They announced him without even doing the medical.
Yeah, there was no medical, no contract signed, no nothing. And then they didn't do the like. Oh, here he is. He's actually.
Yeah.
Here he is. I didn't see it anyway if they did it, but anyway. And then they signed this Sebastian De Weist as well from Belgium. He's a defender from Genk. He's played for Lille, Charleroi, and Toulouse. So could be a good defensive signing. I mean, they didn't need it up until last week, but maybe they needed something to refresh stuff there, scare some people into performing better. So good signing. And then
Is Milizianu gone?
Milizianu gone. I didn't see his name mentioned.
No. Okay.
Skepovic is gone.
Yeah, Skepovic left. Yeah.
And Bruno Santos was released so he could sign for a team back in Brazil.
Yep.
But Transfermarkt says that they made $100,000 on it.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, that I didn't know.
I don't know who fills out Transfermarkt, but I'm guessing they know some stuff.
Well, the interesting thing is that you've got like ambassadors. So you got 1 or 2 people that do the Transfermarkt for Cyprus, and they update it. But I don't think they're actual employees of Transfermarkt. So it's kind of like with Wikipedia, anyone can.
Right. Okay. So it's not necessarily a $100,000 thing then.
No.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's what I called that. The Isle January business. I called it Romo Lomo Ding Dong.
Okay, look at this one. I thought I was full of the puns tonight. You've beaten me. You beat me to it. Beat me to it. But yeah, it says here when the day they signed Romo, Miliziano gone.
Oh, okay. I missed that one then.
So yeah, I think so. It looks like it anyway. I've not got a
Well,
clue.
they're like for like, I guess, isn't it? Same position.
But to be honest, nothing was confirmed, so maybe it didn't happen. But it said if Romo comes in, then Miliziano goes out. But I'll have to check to see if that's official, because I haven't seen anything. You know when the player leaves, they usually do this announcement. I thank you for your efforts. You know, it's like when
The door is always open.
It's like when Anofsky released Novotny in the summer. And I was like, he scored like 2 goals, man. Like, what were you thanking him for? You know, nothing. Yes, I should not laugh. I should not laugh. No.
Right.
Miliziano, I'm just checking. He's still listed. He's still listed as a player, so yeah. He stayed. He survived the chop. Same with Katakliknic. Survived the chop.
Has he actually played for him?
Yes, I remember he hit the post against Olympiacos from 5 yards out.
Oh, right. Okay. Good for him.
Yes.
Mm.
So, you know what? It's the same with the Lamkelze joke. It's they do the highlights of Katakliknic's time at Isle. He walks in, puts the hat on. Same thing. Like we can repeat a lot of the material that we've been using because it's just the same shit but with different players. It's great.
Oh God. Oh man.
Right, mate. We've been doing this for an hour and a half. Yeah, I can tell you're getting tired. I'm getting tired.
Last game.
What is there any more?
Yeah, Paralimni versus Aris.
Did I even download it? See, I don't even know. See, there we go. Yeah, I did. I'm joking. Okay. Yeah, 1-0. I remember watching bits of this one. First half, it was all Aris. Second half, Paralimni made a fight of it. But unfortunately, they held on right until like the 94th, 95th minute and gave away a silly penalty when the goalkeeper probably could have dealt with the situation. And Aris won the game. And I think it was... Who's the guy that gave away the penalty?
Yevremovic.
Yevremovic. He was in tears at full time.
I mean, it's not the first time. It's not the. So Yevremovic was the one who tried to start something with Tankovic when they were playing Baffle after the penalty.
Yes.
And
we did the Michael Jackson.
Yeah. And they both actually got
something. Got to be starting something. Sorry.
They actually both got fined for whatever the hell went on after that penalty as well.
Fuck you, bloody! That's what was happening. Fucking mother bastard bitch.
The thing is, as well, the punishment thing that was on the Atlético de Castilla stuff said like it was shouting at the player in his own language.
Oh, come on! What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I mean, they must have been like, hey, you know what they say about your mom over here? Not what they say about my mom over here. They say your mom is big. I don't know. I don't know. And then the best, started slapping each other like schoolgirls.
Your mother is so fat. When she jumped for joy, she got stuck. Oh, sorry. Okay, we've completely desecrated this show. Honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So carry on as you were saying about this game.
Yeah. Well, no,
that's just how entertaining it was.
Yeah, it was a very entertaining game. Obviously, any game with Aris in is normally very entertaining because they just play a brand of football, regardless of whether they get the result or not. They've got a way that they play, and they just keep playing it. And you would have thought that they'd get frustrated, be like little annoying things happening here and there. But credit to Aris, they kept working at it, hitting the bar. The kind of offside goals not given for handball, all kinds of things going on, and then that penalty. Yevgenovic, man. But yeah, Kostic is basically Paralimni's man of the match. He did fantastic. He did fantastic to kind of keep him at bay until the 90 whatever minute. Yeah, it was game. Here's the penalty. Like, unbelievable. Don't understand why Yevgenovic did what he did, but he did it, and Aris got the penalty.
I've got to question the goalkeeper here. I'm usually in the goalkeepers union, but he could have been a bit quicker off his line. Maybe tried to narrow the angle a bit, get closer to the forward, because he did lose a bit of control on the ball. I know the pitch made the ball bobble. Perhaps he could have come out quicker and prevent, and Yevremovic may not have had to make that challenge. I mean, it was a clumsy one, don't get me wrong. I still think the goalkeeper needs to be held a little bit accountable for that, and his attempt to save the penalty was just terrible, man, honestly.
Yeah.
That reminds me of like when a goalkeeper gets sent off and there's no other goalkeeper on the bench and they put an outfield player in goal.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Fana Alves looks absolutely knackered, by the way, there. I know he's praying, but he looked absolutely knackered. It's like he done like an hour on the treadmill. There you go. So that was the result. 1-0.
Yep. Shall I do some business?
Do the transfers, go on.
Yeah, Paralimni transfer business. Loans. Oh, loans. So we already talked about Moreira and Policarpo loan from Apoel.
Yes.
It's like Chad doing the business with Apoel. They've basically got 3 players there now.
Such a senior.
Yeah. And then you've got Jave, who's on loan from Aris, that got announced a couple of days ago. So obviously he couldn't play against Aris.
Yep.
But that's a very solid signing for Paralimni. He's gonna go well for him for especially the second phase when they end up playing all these teams like Akrita and Olympiacos over and over again. And then this Victor Fernandez, who's a Spanish left winger that they got from Volos in Greece. He was in the Newcastle youth teams and reserves for 3 seasons as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Which year was this?
16-17 to 2021.
Okay.
If I remember correctly when I was looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah. Aris January business. You want to hear it?
Let's go.
Shumansky. That's it.
Okay.
They paid 400 grand to Bate Borisov for an 18-year-old Belarusian striker.
Okay.
Moneyball.
Yes, I was about to ask you if they've given him a squad number or anything like that.
I haven't seen it, but he's 18. He's very young. When they first announced the signing, I looked him up. He did. Going through the ranks at Bate Borisov, he's done very, very well for them. So there's obviously something that they've seen there. And, Shpilevsky being Belarusian as well, maybe he had a hand in.
Oh, maybe.
In.
We might have to do some research and find out who the agent is. Because, anyway.
400 grand.
Anyway, it is for Cyprus anyway. And for an 18-year-old that isn't proven at a high level.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be. But hey, listen, they seem to march on, Aris. You know, they go through a bit of a lull, and then they pick it up with a victory. I don't know if they have enough in the tank to challenge for the title, but again, stranger things have happened. So I'm still not ruling it out.
That's 6 games where they just drew every game. That's kind of where
dented them. Yeah, dented
yeah
them for sure.
yeah.
Is there any other news that you've got? Because I was reading your Twitter feed and there was an incredible story from Abea Agrodiri.
Yeah, in the Di Castigar. Yeah,
Yeah,
so I didn't write that down in the notes. So just give me a moment while I bring it back up. But basically, it looks like during a Division 3 game, there was an attack on the referee. Basically,
what, this weekend gone or the previous weekend?
no, it would have been the
Previous
week
weekend,
before because
right?
the Castigar run a week behind. But in essence, yeah, so this is how I found out about it. Is that here it is. Yeah, Abea Agrotiri has been fined for a serious breach of the peace, where at the end of the match, players and staff got on the pitch and started pushing the ref. And a specific player got singled out as well, called Jamori Leisner, and he's been
Dutch player.
excluded. Sorry,
Dutch player.
probably. Has been excluded from playing until the 1st of July for threatening, pushing, and swearing at the ref.
Wow. Can they appeal that?
Probably, but would you?
Well, if there's not enough evidence.
Well, yeah, but normally there's you talk about fines and whatnot, and that kind of happens all the time because somebody said something about the referee's mum or whatever, and then
Yeah.
you read you read the one thing down from that, and it says like, yeah, so 3-match ban for this guy for saying something about the referee's mum, 2-match ban for kicking another player. But yeah, right down at the bottom there, it wasn't just like the way it read. It was kind of like, yeah,
the Canio push.
yeah, that kind of thing.
Okay, fair enough.
If anybody's got any footage, keep it to yourself. But
Okay.
send it to me privately so I can have a look and see what it actually is. I know is what about what about our mate Hal? Is it Hal? Sheffield United
Yeah,
fan.
how? Yeah.
He follows. He follows Agrodiri, so maybe he'd be able to tell us something about it.
Absolutely. In fact, I was on the BFBS radio show last Thursday, and obviously I wasn't privy to this information. Otherwise, I would have mentioned it. But at the same time, would it be wise to talk about it on the radio?
No.
One of the Abea players pushed the referee.
Yeah.
I might mention it this weekend, this Thursday. Actually, I might do.
Well, say there's a player that got banned for it. We can't.
Yes.
We don't have any footage or anything of it, so we're like.
Yes.
But yeah, there's also another big thing that happened in the lower league.
Yes, go on.
So Algio Roglinis, the association, decided to remove the football club from the league in the second division.
Right.
So basically, the way that this evolved was UEFA arrived and decided to do a criterion test on all the clubs, checking their finances, checking if they're paying people correctly and on time, and there was a big thing. The Cyprus FA was like, they came and checked, and everybody passed. ... Except one. So Algi failed whatever
Oh.
test that they failed, whatever criteria they didn't pass, and were deducted 3 points and were given a transfer ban. So some players, it turned out at one point as well. So they are obviously the players' union PASP kind of came out afterwards and said that there was some players that weren't being paid since October and November. So with the punishment that got delivered by the Cyprus FA, the club, the association, the Algioroglinis decided to pull the football team out of the league. So not only those players haven't been paid since October, November, but because the club isn't, that the football part of the club isn't an entity
They've
anymore.
dissolved, haven't they?
Yeah, they've dissolved. They've dissolved the football club. It means those players not only
owed money and they're not going to get
are owed money, they're not going to get it, but they're also out of a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but aren't they going to start in Division 4? Aren't they going to rebrand?
well,
and do
no,
like a berry?
they're going to go even further. They're going to go in the Agrodiko. So they're not going to go in the stock. They're going to go in the stock Ebilekti, which is the 4th division. They're going to go in the one of the feeder leagues below that.
Right.
And build it up again from scratch.
Right. And that absolves them of any financial money owed, I guess. We're a different entity now, and
yeah, so there's that. But there's also a fine that they need to pay the Cyprus FA for not completing their fixtures.
Oh wow, yes, because all the other teams get the points, don't they?
They don't get the points. They don't play those. They don't play those games. I don't think, or they all get 3 points for playing.
Yeah, yeah.
So it kind of, there's interesting stuff going on there. Anyway, there's some teams as well that don't know what that means for them. So, for instance, the Ipsona team, the FC Krakow, that are owned by the Russian fella, they put a post on Instagram, kind of saying like, "This is where we are in the table. They're in the relegation group, and we still got 10 matches to play." And they had Algioroglini there, and I'm like, "Well, it's not 10 matches to play. You've only got 8 matches to play."
Yeah, didn't they beat them 8-1 recently? Who did they beat 8-1?
Yeah, I don't know, but Algioroglini weren't doing well beforehand anyway. They were second from bottom. The team that was bottom was Olympias Limbion.
Ah, okay. And we had them mentioned quite recently.
People remember. Weird stuff happened, but anyway.
We will not speak on that.
Yeah.
We shall not speak on
there you go. Kind of leaving it all on a negative note, but
no, there was one player. Wasn't he fined for wearing a number 26 when he's registered as a 27 or something like that?
No, it's the other way around.
Sorry, the other way around.
So yeah, the club got fined because a player who's registered as number 26, they gave him a number 27 shirt to wear. They got fined for that.
And Berg got fined for not wearing his lanyard.
Yeah, so the reason why I brought that up was because he keeps getting fined for not wearing his lanyard. So I've put that on there to be like, next time, got fined again for not wearing his lanyard.
So, do you think he turns up to games and he just looks at the security guard and says, "Do you know who I am?" "No, sir, I don't. You don't have your lanyard. I'm Henning Berg, God damn it. Say my name." "You're Henning Berg?" "You goddamn right."
Oh, man.
I got another Breaking Bad. Anyway, right. One final thing before we wrap it up. The league table. There you go. Ajax top on 50 points. Upwell second on 46. Buffalo creeping up behind Upwell on 45. Aris 5 points behind Buffo. It's not impossible. Omonia, Apollon locked in at 35. Then Salamina in behind with Bursabu. He's still there. I thought he'd be gone by now, but he's still there. 34 points. Then you have AEL, 28 points, 6 points behind Salamina. No, they don't have a game in hand against Apollon. That game will not go ahead. Both teams get 0 points. Then you have Karmiotissa on 23. They're catching up with AEL slowly. Anorthosi on 23, who face Omonia tonight, because I'm saying tonight because this will be released on the Thursday. Paralimni, Doxa, Olympiacos, and Agrida. That's looking a bit tasty, isn't it? As a relegation clash or a relegation dogfight. Don't two go down, mate. Two that go down. 3, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's 3 going down.
So there you go. Agrida, Olympiacos, Doxa, and Paralimni are fighting. I don't think Anorthosis are going to go down. I don't think they will. There's a 9-point gap between them and Paralimni. So it could be 2 of the 3 promoted teams going down next season. Or 2 of the 4, because 4 came up, didn't
Salamina got promoted.
That's right, yeah. I got so used to Salamina being in the league, it feels like it's just normal for them to be there, really. Yeah. But yes, I'm not going to ask you your predictions. It's too late in the evening to be talking about stuff like this.
Yeah.
So,
man. People can check me out on the Twitters for my
predictions. Yeah, of course. Of course. Well, my friend, thank you very much for your time. Thank you, boys and girls, and whatever you identify yourself as, for tuning in. And we shall be back next week for more shenanigans. And I'm hoping that we'll be more enthusiastic about some of the games, because I'm not going to lie, that Doxa game absolutely fucking killed me. Good night, everybody.